welcome back to the Progress Pondcast. I forget what number it is. I'm Brendan Squire. This is Marty Longman.
Hey,
It's been a
folks.
it's been a hot minute since we came at you. School has gotten busy for me. Marty's got life of his own. You were just in Puerto Rico, I think. I'll bet that was awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to go
Um,
back. I'd like to go back for sure.
Oh yeah, my God, I'm hoping to get there next year. But anyway, we're gonna get into it really quick and fast because we have both been watching the I guess it's day two of the trial, maybe day three of of Trump's trial in New York. We are here for the gag order, which which did not go so well for Mr. Trump, and with some observations on David Pecker's testimony and how that's gonna impact Donald going forward. So let's get right into it. Welcome back to the Progress Pondcast. God, I don't even know where to freaking start. The I've been watching that whole thing with Trump and his gag order and what's I guess ongoing with the Pecker with the which is such a great name
Yeah.
with David Pecker all morning. And
Did I send you that thing with Nicole Wallace from a few years ago where it said Trump worried about Pecker leaking?
no, but that's perfect. That's
It
perfect. Oh,
was,
you
it
know what I
was,
forgot to do? I forgot to put up my little screen. I'll put that up now. Keep talking.
all right.
What's that about his Pecker leaking?
It was a screenshot of MSNBC and the crying on the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it said is Trump or just Trump, but it said like Trump worried about Pecker leaking.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That
aren't
is
we
just
all right?
that is just unfucking believable.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, it is unfucking believable what I'm seeing. It is
That's
just
kind of like,
absolute. It's completely. It's just bizarre. This gag order here. I mean, first of all, this
yeah,
gag order hearing. I don't even know what to make of this. And by the way, I'm recording this for the podcast. I'll cut that out if I have to. But like this gag order hearing is just. I'll say it again. I mean, if it and I've said this a million times before, and so have countless other people. If it was you or me saying even half of this stuff, even half of it, we would have been in jail long ago, and not allowed out until we shut our freaking mouth.
I don't know. I've been looking forward to this trial. I don't know. It feels like 8, 9 years I've been waiting for this guy to go on like criminal trial.
Oh yeah, since
You
since
know?
he since he came down his stupid golden staircase there.
No,
The
you know what? You know when I started wanting to see him go to prison? When he started that Obama was born in Kenya nonsense.
Oh
The,
yeah,
the birtherism,
oh yeah. It,
because that really pissed me off. And before that, I just thought he was a buffoon. You
yeah.
know, I grew up in the New York media market, so Trump was just kind of a ridiculous character, but not one you needed to care about one way or another. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I
Just
grew up in Newport, Rhode Island, and while I wasn't part of the hoi polloi over there by any means, he was he was even in a place like freaking Newport, he was looked down upon. You know, that's
I
but that's where
believe
but
it.
that's where old money goes to go on vacation, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, in New York, it was just he was just always self-promoting, but I didn't even notice stuff that he did, like, the Central Park Five stuff. Now, it might have been because I had moved to California for a few years in the late 80s and early 90s. So I missed like a kind of key period in New York City history because it's like the Mayor Dinkins era.
Yep.
And there was like, I don't know, I get in trouble if I try to do my chronology, but there was like Crown Heights riots, and there was like a lot of racial tension. There was the Al Sharpton, Tawana Brawley stuff. I mean, there was all this bad stuff going on in Manhattan, and a lot of that was in that little period when I was on the West Coast.
Yep.
It's also when Trump's casinos started to go belly up. So I just wasn't around for that. It's like this little sliver of time.
Yeah. I
But
always I always like you. I just basically always saw the dude as some kind of clown. You know, a
Yeah.
TV. I remember when I was in probably. I think I remember seeing him on like the cover of People magazine a couple times when I was in like junior high school or high school, and just like even then thinking the guy came off as kind of an asshole. And but
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
mean, put it this way, I was other than like his birtherism shit, I was ignorant of him other than like loudmouth rich guy when he first ran for president. I mean, because I don't watch a lot of TV or anything like that, and I knew he had his stupid game show, The Apprentice, but I didn't watch reality shows. Those were never my deal, and it sounded exactly like the kind of thing that he'd be involved in. The
I got a funny story about The Apprentice.
to tell you the truth, when he first started running for president, I laughed at the whole thing. I thought he was joking. I thought it was a goof, you know. And he said funny
Yeah.
shit. He said legit funny shit sometimes, you know. And then the true horror of it, of course, became, it wasn't funny anymore. It got less and less funny as it went along. But
Yeah.
it was like
But no,
it wasn't real, you know.
it's like the coming of awareness of Donald Trump was a dangerous lunatic, came in stages,
Yeah. Oh,
you know.
absolutely.
But so I, I'm ashamed to admit this. I don't watch reality shows either, but I watched one season of The Apprentice.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't even tell you why I did it
Why, yeah, I was going to
anymore.
say, why did you do that to yourself?
Yeah, yeah. But I watched one season, and it was the season that Joan Rivers was on the show. And I remember, at the end of each episode, somebody gets kicked off the show. You're fired.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, that was I guess the suspense, right? So, and it got down to the point where there were like, I don't know, three, four people left, and they were having these little competitions. And the idea is whoever does the best job on this little business thing project they've been given, like, well, I guess I'll reverse it. Whoever did the worst job gets voted off, right? And it was pretty clear like Joan Rivers was doing a garbage job. Like her team was not doing well. And he kept just kicking somebody else off. And then like in the final round, it was like completely obvious, like she shouldn't win. And he just gave it to her. And it was really obvious to me. I was like, this is just because he's personal friends with her.
Yeah.
It has like he puts on this whole thing like these people go out there and they have a budget and they're
Oh,
supposed to.
but then at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you're my friend.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like you're my friend. I was like, there's no way you can justify like making Joan Rivers the winner of this thing. And I was like, not that I was surprised that it's like pro wrestling and it's like, pure
Yeah.
entertainment rather than true competition. But that was the first time I was like, this guy's, you know, untrustworthy to me. I'm not watching another season of this shit.
So,
So, but that's my story on The Apprentice. But as for what you were talking about, like when he first started running for president, he tried. Well, he talked about it at least two other times, and I think there's a third one that might go back to like the early '90s or something. But
yeah, well, they were all these kind of third parties that were never going to go anywhere, like the
well,
Reform
no,
Party or
so
the.
no, so he first started talking about running as a Democrat,
I
and
vaguely
then
remember that.
I
Vaguely,
think it
vaguely.
was I think it was 2000. I think he was talking about in 2000 running as the reform candidate. I think that's right.
I'd have to look
Um,
it up.
yeah. So I didn't really think of him as a Republican because in as much as he'd like made his politics known, it was either as a Democrat or as an independent.
Yeah,
It's not that I thought, someone in his line of work might not be conservative minded or, but it was just the kind of lifestyle he lived was not very conservative.
no, not at all.
It's all about beauty pageants and all this stuff. So I thought, maybe he's kind of liberal minded about, I don't know, gays, things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I'm looking at him right now. He in '99 he formed an exploratory committee to seek the nomination for the Reform Party
Okay,
for the
yeah,
2000 election.
right.
He dropped out of the race, but still went on to win the Reform Party primaries in California and Michigan. Um,
Okay.
he
I didn't even know
then
that.
he left that party because David Duke, Pat Buchanan, and Lenora Fulani got involved, which is kind of funny considering how he turned out.
Right. And
Um,
then it's Charlottesville. You
yeah,
know,
he endorsed Clinton in the primary, Republican in 2008. He endorsed Clinton in the primary and McCain in the general.
okay.
And he really started.
So he didn't like Obama from the get-go.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then he really well. The Trump family's history with black people is long and legendary and not good. Um,
Somebody, I think the Clintons went to one of his weddings or something.
they might have. They
Yeah.
absolutely might have.
Yeah.
He speculated about running in 2012, but he decided not to and endorsed Romney. And well, we all want to know what happened then. He started speaking at CPAC. He started courting the Republicans, and then there we go.
Yeah. Well, the birtherism.
Yeah, well,
That was the first real, like, wow, where's that coming from?
yep,
Because,
yep.
yeah, I would have expected it maybe from some other people, but he
Yeah, I
ran with it.
know.
He made him super popular, and he ran after that. So,
Yep.
yeah.
So the
So anyway, I've been waiting for this day a long time because this guy's been irritating me, and it was kind of glorious in court today,
oh yeah,
starting right off the bat at 9:30 with this gag order hearing.
I cannot wait to see the full transcripts from this.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
Lord.
Well, we were texting back and forth. It
Oh
was
yeah.
pretty, we were laughing because the judge, I mean, okay, so just to set it up, there were like 10 different examples of Trump posting stuff about either the jurors or potential witnesses in the case,
Yeah.
which violated what the judge said, like don't do that. And he doesn't really have any excuse, so his lawyer really didn't have anything he could say.
Oh, it was
And
hilarious. I kept thinking of freaking while I was reading what Todd Blanche or whatever his name is was saying, Trump's lawyer there. I couldn't kept thinking of help thinking of like Lionel Hutz, the incompetent lawyer in The Simpsons. You know, just absolutely flailing. It's so funny. I
I felt
mean,
sorry for him though, because he gave him all this advice, like don't do this, don't do this. And then now he's like, look what you made me do.
yeah, totally.
Now I gotta go up here like an a-hole
Yep.
and just get a new a-hole ripped by this judge.
Yep. Oh,
Because
and he's there. It came out really bad for the dude. I mean, I'm looking at God damn it, why do you have to scroll like that? Stupid New York Times. I don't want to see this shit. I'm looking at their I'm trying to look at their live stream, and it's just like it just jacked me down like way,
I hate
way,
how
way
I
below I
do
need to do.
websites jump around, the screen
Yeah,
jumps
I can't
around.
stand it.
And
And
then
then
you
it
get the
takes forever to
pop-ups.
then it takes forever to reload itself. Come on, you asshole, New York Times.
What are
Just
you
another
looking
reason to
for?
there were some amazing, just absolutely amazing quotes from from that gag order hearing, where the judge is just like
He's
just
like he's like
tearing him to bits.
remember that thing I sent you is like he
You're losing all.
20 minutes into his thing, and the judge is like, you haven't presented me anything.
You have it, and says you are losing all credibility with this court, and
Yeah.
that's like on the first or second day,
Yeah.
and you are losing all credibility with this court. This doesn't look good moving forward. And the guys at the Times who are live streaming this is great. Alan Foyer, this is going to be a long trial. Blanche is in jeopardy of ruining his relationship with Merchant this early in the game. And it's like, yeah, yep, that's exactly what's happening right here.
So here's what I think happened. Okay, because they they had these 10 different examples of social media posts that Trump made that they had to consider each one.
Yep.
And there were four of them that were all him just posting the same article, a link to the same article like four times.
Over and over and over
Right.
again.
But
Yep.
then there was, I guess, like six other examples. And the judge was asking him to clarify, like, which one of these posts are you talking about when you say that? And he was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so he didn't sit down last night in anticipation of this gag hearing and go down these things like 1 through 10 and come up with what he thought he could defend. He just didn't do the work. And to me, it's not probably because he's like a crap lawyer, because everything I read about this guy is he's actually a pretty good lawyer. But it's because how dedicated are you to doing the work on something you told your client
Yeah, not to
not to
do.
do this, not to do, you're going to get in trouble. It's not worth it. If you get sentenced, you're going to get, if you get convicted, you're going to get a worse sentence. You could go to jail for this,
Yep.
right? Don't do it. Trump goes ahead and does it. Now he's got to go up there and defend it. And he just pissed, probably. He's
Yeah, I'm sure he
pissed.
was.
He's probably more focused on the first witness, David Pecker, like that, whether he's going to make objections or, whatever he's going to do on cross. Like that's what he's probably focused on. He's not focused on the stupid gag hearing.
Yeah. Oh, I know. He
But
wants to get
then,
he
so
wants
then
to get
he's
to work.
totally,
This is a whole thing. Now he's got an extra layer of bullshit that he has to deal with.
yeah, and he doesn't
Right.
deal with it well, right?
Right. Yeah. Of course.
So he goes totally unprepared, and the judge is like, the judge goes to him at one point. He goes, "Can you cite me a case to back up what you're saying?"
Yep.
And he goes, I can't cite you a case. It's just common sense." And it's like, you don't say that to a judge in court. You don't say, I don't have a case to refer to. It's common sense. Like that's not an argument you make in court to a judge.
No. It's
And so Merchant he got angry.
Yeah, it did. Merchant got angry, but else happened is Trump was getting angry too. He
That's
was
what I
getting.
hear.
That's what I was reading. I just kept seeing that he was like looking up sharply. He was muttering to himself, was shaking his head. No, I can imagine him doing that, like looking like a little baby that doesn't want to eat the food, just shaking a giant head. No, and
Yeah.
oh god,
During that whole hearing, I think he was starting to sense, this could go bad for me. I could go to jail.
I am still hoping against hope that he like like we were talking about yesterday, just throws a full-on Captain Queeg style tantrum in court. I get Queeg isn't even a tantrum. Queeg is just like Captain Queeg is from
Was
what's
it
the name of
Cane
the thing?
Mutiny?
Cane Mutiny. He doesn't even so much have a meltdown as he just has his brain melts and he just starts babbling about the strawberries. With Trump, I want to see him do like a Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth, like
Yeah.
screaming, but screaming like utter, just complete insane gibberish.
Like not even like called as a witness on the stand, just like standing up from
Yeah, just
standing up from him and just
pointing and
standing up and
screaming.
starting like making a scene.
Yeah, making like a total paranoid chant. You're all against me. You're all against me. I can see it. To the point where it's like obvious to everybody, even his devoted followers, that like, oh shit, this guy's gone round the bend. You know?
Now he could snap at any time, but I could see that more in like if he were to go down and like he realizes he's in the Jack Smith trial for say, well, either one of the Jack Smith trials, the classified document case, but even more so the January 6th case. If he were deep into that trial and he realized I'm going down, and that means I'm going to, pound me in the ass federal prison
Nobody's pounding the
for
old man in the ass.
for the rest of my life.
They'll kill him. They're not going to pound that man in the ass. That man.
Oh, that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene says. She says we just want him to get killed in prison.
Yeah, that's if he was in general population, he would probably get killed in prison the way just for the sake of, someone killed Whitey Bulger in prison just for the sake of killing him. But
He could hang out with the white Aryans. They'd protect him.
they might actually they probably would.
Yeah, they'd
Until
make him king.
maybe
Yeah,
maybe
he'd be all tatted up.
he couldn't take the pain of a tat. He'd draw them on with magic marker.
That's right. Yeah,
He absolutely
spray on orange tattoos.
yeah, he absolutely couldn't
Oh, you
deal
can't
with
do that because it won't show up. He has.
I
Yes.
have tattoos and they are not comfortable to get all the time. He would totally be like, use magic marker.
I couldn't stand the pain. I might be able to get it like on some fleshy part of my body, but some people small on my back. Hell no, doesn't that hurt? Don't you have
Oh my
nerve
God,
endings
dude.
there?
I have a so-called tramp stamp, and it was the most painful tattoo I ever got.
I would
It
think
made me realize why so many young women only have the lower back tattoo and nothing else, because that
because
first
they're not
tattoo,
doing that again.
yeah, because they're not doing that again. But like arm tattoos aren't really that bad.
But
Arm
women can
tattoos,
withstand pain more than men because they give birth.
yeah, but
Like
that pain, that lower back pain,
we have no pain tolerance compared to
that lower
women.
back pain is like, it's when you get a tattoo needle down there, it is just like ridiculous. It hurts so bad.
That's what I
Like
would think.
like my arms, it really didn't, that didn't hurt for anything.
Your arms are
But
used to touching things all the time, so your
yeah,
nerves aren't as sensitive.
exactly. But yeah, the freaking I am holding out for a full-on screaming, like paranoid fit of rage from him. I don't know if it'll happen in this one, or like you were saying, the one of the Jack Smith ones down the road, but I really want to see it. I mean, he really does look like he could snap at any time. I mean, I've seen like little clips of his press conferences outside the courtroom. And why are they allowing him to do that? Why are they
I,
letting him do these crazy, you know,
you can't do
insightful,
that.
invective press conferences outside the damn courtroom? Why? Why is that allowed? Explain that to me.
I don't know. You can't do it in federal cases. So, like, if he goes in the federal cases, he can't do it. I don't know in Georgia if that case goes. I don't know if he'll be able to do it there, but he can't do it in the federal cases. But New York allows the defendant to talk on court property. So, and I guess they accommodate it like for security. So, I don't know. It's annoying. It's just, but I think it's just getting him in more trouble. It's not helping him.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Like
helping
he
him. That's
thinks
true.
this
More
is,
here, have more rope, right?
yeah, I think he thinks this is all about campaigning, but right now it's like saving your ass
Yeah.
because he can go to prison for this. Like he shouldn't since he doesn't have any priors, but you think he's going to show any remorse?
No, absolutely not. He's not going to show
Yeah.
any
Like
remorse.
what
He's going to keep,
happens in court when you get convicted and you don't show remorse?
yeah, they give you a worse sentence. They give you a harsher
Yeah.
sentence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
the dude absolutely should go to jail. He absolutely should go to jail. And but
I mean, okay, let's be fair. Like on these charges, first offense, no prior criminal, uh, no one's going to jail, right? Like he could technically do like up to 4 years in prison.
yeah, but most people aren't going to jail for that. But
No, they
most people are
don't.
going to be cooperative and pretend they're at least sorry.
Right. And it's, you want to be sorry because A, you want to acknowledge your verdict, but also this is like, are you going to do this again?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. That's
Like,
part of the reason you acknowledge your guilt and say sorry and serve your sentence. You
yeah,
know?
but
So you can
like,
at least give the court at least, lip service to no, I won't do it again, Your Honor. I'm
yeah, if
sorry.
I'm just going to give you probation, you can do it tomorrow, you
Yeah.
know? So, but also the guys out there, inciting people against the judge's daughter, right?
Yes. That's why I'm
And
saying he should be going to jail, because of of what he's the incitement. I mean,
well, that's what if if he's convicted, Merchant's gonna be the guy whose daughter was threatened by this guy, and he's gonna be facing a client that he had to sanction for violating his gag orders because we don't know what he's gonna rule yet, but we know it's not gonna be kind,
yeah.
um, and it's probably not gonna be the last time in this
No, no, it
several
won't.
weeks trial. So this is a guy who will have had to sanctions for disobeying his orders, for threatening his daughter, having no remorse, and also just personally trashing him constantly.
Yeah. Yep. That's been
Um,
a thing too.
and now some of that you might go, well, you got to be level headed. You can't take things personally. Okay, but stuff like not having remorse, stuff like violating your orders, that you don't. It's not personal.
No,
It's just facts.
he's absolutely going to take that into consideration when he renders judgment.
Yeah, yeah.
Because one of the things they have to consider is this defendant going to continue to do what they've been doing?
Yeah, let's even talk about the judge thing, like where you're attacking the judge's family. Okay, he doesn't have to take that personally, but he knows there's other cases and there's other judges, and he kind of needs to protect them. Like he he can't just let that slide because then he's going to go out and attack the children of other judges.
Yep,
And
exactly.
so like all that has to be taken into consideration. So at the end of this gag order hearing, the judge didn't immediately issue a ruling, and I don't know when he's going to issue a ruling. The prosecution did not ask for him to be imprisoned at this time, and I know that irritated you.
That certainly irritated me.
Yeah.
Because
But
again, if it was you or me that did a fraction of that bullshit, we would already be in jail and be there for quite some time.
yeah, yeah, and but we're not candidates for president.
Oh, that's
Oh my God, how did the Republicans get in this mess? Which that gets me to another thing. So let's move on to the later in the afternoon where
How did they get themselves into this mess? Well, let's see.
where do we begin? But no,
Do
I
we
want to.
start?
I
Do we
want
start with Lee Atwater? Do we go to the Southern strategy? I
Maybe.
mean,
Yeah. You can go back. But I want to talk about the David Pecker, the National Enquirer publisher, who is the first witness in the case. And so he started testifying a little bit yesterday and then more today. And there was at one point he was explaining how they had an agreement with Trump where they would publish negative things about his opponents, and by that I mean in the Republican primaries.
yeah. They would
So
talk shit
yeah,
about they would talk shit about Ted Cruz, or they'd talk shit
yeah,
about
Jeb Bush,
Jeb Bush or whoever.
Marco
Yeah.
Rubio, and so in the trial, some of the exhibits were actual headlines that from that period of time that were trashing Rubio,
Yep.
and they had the one for Cruz where they accused his father of being a co-conspirator with Lee Harvey Oswald and the
Which was
JFK
always my
assassination.
favorite one. That was
Yeah.
so funny.
So interestingly, they asked Pecker where that came from, and he said that it was the editor at the time. I think his last name is Howard. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he will be a later witness in the case. But apparently, he came up with that JFK thing on his own,
Oh, that
and
was
that
totally made. I missed that part.
yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
totally made up.
I don't think they got into like. Of course, it was made up.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well, of
mean,
course. Yeah. Well,
but like it wasn't from like some outside source, like
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
editor of the
saying.
National
Like they
Enquirer
that's what I mean. They developed it in house,
in
like
house.
an ad agency.
Yeah, yeah. Like, how are we going to trash? What would be a great way to trash Ted Cruz?
It's like
So,
like the Dr. Pepper song, but different.
so it
Very,
wasn't
very
even
different.
like a staffer. It wasn't even a staffer, according to it was the editor who.
So it was like the Don Draper. It was like a Don Draper type.
Yeah, yeah. So that was great. But then I was thinking to myself, so he's going through this whole thing about how they so why did this work? So for Pecker, they had done these this is before Trump was ever a candidate. They would test celebrities, like who gets the most sales on the front page, and Trump would like win these things. He's like the celebrity that would sell the most magazines. So that's why they were interested in having a relationship with him, because, and according to him, when the Apprentice show was hot, Trump would even call him up and let him know who got voted off
I saw
before it
that.
aired.
Yep.
Yeah, so they had this really tight relationship, and part of that was this catch and kill thing. That's part of this case where they would catch a person would come in with a negative story about Trump. They would buy it, and then they
They'd buy
wouldn't
it and
publish
bury
it.
it. Yep.
Yeah, they wouldn't publish it, and they would prevent the person from selling it anywhere else.
Yep.
So that was the catch and kill a bad story about Trump. The flip side, though, was writing bad stories about Ted Cruz and the rest of his opponents, and eventually Hillary Clinton. And so the prosecutor pointed out to him, like, it wasn't totally mutually beneficial. Like, killing negative stories about Trump only helped Trump. It didn't help the National Enquirer like make sales.
Yeah.
You
Oh, it was
know?
it was a one-way street.
On that element. I mean,
Yep.
it helped them, maintain like a good relationship with Trump. So from that aspect, it was mutually beneficial. But as far as like selling
Yeah, but
issues of the
he
magazine,
yeah, he passed up with some good stories, like the one about the
right?
doorman who they paid off. They paid off the Trump's doorman to bury a story about how Trump had possibly sired a kid out of wedlock with the maid, and the one that Trump denies is true. He denies the whole thing. But yeah, they and he said that if they had published that, Pecker said that if they had published that, it would have been a huge story.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did. I think he compared it to like saying that Elvis is actually alive. I think he
Oh,
compared it.
wow. I
Yeah, he
totally
said,
missed that part of the testimony. So that's interesting. So, yeah, but they had no intention. So they paid that guy. Here's an interesting thing about that I did see. They paid him 30 grand. And then
yeah,
if he took that 30 grand from them and then went and ran gave the story to anybody else, free or not, then he would owe them $1 million. That was the
yeah,
contract. It was an
yep, yep.
exhibit. It was an exhibit. And in the exhibit, it said Trump's illegitimate child on the exhibit.
Yes, yeah, I
So
saw that.
all the jurors are staring at Trump's illegitimate child, which of course it turns out everyone's saying it's not true. The doorman was wrong. That's
Yeah,
what they're
yeah, yeah.
saying.
It supposedly it's not true. Supposedly the story is not true.
Yeah, but the jurors still saw that like Trump's illegitimate child like on the contract.
Oh, yes, I know they did.
Yeah, yeah. So that was not too good. But yeah, so I kind of lost track of where I was going with the whole thing from the beginning, talking about the catch and kill aspect. Oh, but so I was thinking, um, obviously Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, those guys, they've they learned about this whole catch and kill thing, this whole arrangement years ago. But I wondered, like, what do they think about this if they're following along now?
Oh my God.
About how the National Enquirer just ganged up on them.
I know. They must be pissed.
Yeah, I would think. Like, and yet they treat Trump like their best friend.
These guys, man. Well, that's because they have no shame. They have no shame, and they have no spines. And then at the end of the day, they're jackals because
Yeah,
the minute that they smell blood in the water with Trump, they're already backing away from him. They're all a bunch of Judases to their Trump. Trump loves pushing this Jesus analogy about himself. But like for real, a lot of these guys are like they're hitching themselves to them, they're hitching their pony to him. And but the minute that he's not useful to them, they're gonna drop him like a freaking hot potato the best they can. And it's not gonna work. That's I think that stink is gonna last forever. But
do you
but
remember back when Lindsey Graham was in the campaign
I was
against
just
Trump?
about to refer to that.
And I don't know what he did to piss Trump off, but Trump gave everybody his phone number. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I do.
And then it was still like apparently he had given Trump his phone number a few years earlier, but Trump was like, I don't know if this is still his number, but here it is.
Yes, I
And
do remember that.
he read it out at like a rally, I think. And then like everybody called Lindsay and he had to get a new phone. And that was like literally like that was the day he went from saying Trump is like the worst thing, like the narcissist and all this. He was trashing him constantly, and it was like he got whipped.
Yep.
And the next day, but the thing about it is,
I was actually I thought you were going to refer to something different,
oh
where Lindsay said when he was still before he got whipped good, the when he was saying that if Trump is their nominee, the Republican Party is going to be destroyed and will deserve it. That's what I thought you were going to
yeah,
refer
yeah,
to.
that's right. He did say that.
Yep.
Yeah, and he probably meant it.
Oh,
You
he
know,
certainly did mean it at the time before he did what he always I'd say before he gave up his soul, but it's like how many times has he done that in the past?
but here's the thing:
The dude's a hollow man.
he was the first one to kind of realize, oh, all my Republican voters in South Carolina like this dude and they like him a lot more than me.
Yep.
Um, and so I better not continue this antagonism of Trump. I mean, it wasn't just that like Trump slapped him down like that. It was he was just he was prescient. Like he understood. There were other people who tried to like stand in the way and they just got run over. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
Bob Corker down in Tennessee, you know, Jeff Flake in Arizona. Like these just guys were road apples.
Yep. They totally,
Um,
God, I barely remember what Bob Corker looks like. And I was living down there when he got his ass handed to him.
yeah.
Didn't he resign? Did he resign rather than run again because he knew he was going to get his ass kicked? I forget.
Um,
He
I
might have
think
been he might have been a quitter.
I don't know. I think he just bowed out, honestly. I don't know if he thought he was going to lose a primary, but I could go off on a whole tangent on Bob Corker.
Oh, I could go
Uh,
off on him for a long time. He was in.
uh, but just real briefly, this week the Chattanooga Volkswagen plant voted to unionize with the United Auto Workers.
Yep.
And something like 9 years ago, they tried that, and Corker went ballistic on
Porker,
them.
I remember I was living in Tennessee then. I absolutely remember that. He went ballistic. He told them they were going to
Yeah.
lose jobs.
Oh,
He was out. Yeah,
he
he
was
was.
everywhere on the TV, writing editorials and just saying it's going to be Armageddon if Tennessee has unions, it'll destroy everything. And I'll give him credit. He like single-handedly beat that because that was a close vote.
Yep.
And it took 9 years, and finally they unionized down there. And that's a big deal. I mean, they were exaggerating what a big deal it was on the Republican side, but it's still a big deal.
Yeah, it's still a big deal.
So, yeah, United Auto Workers with a toehold in the South. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
know.
that's another subject for another day.
Yeah, but
Uh,
he decided in 2018 he announced he wasn't going to seek re-election. He quit,
okay,
and then when he
yeah,
quit,
but I mean,
then
I
when
don't
he
know
quit,
why I quit.
then well he wasn't going to win. I lived
Oh,
down there
right,
back then. There was no
okay.
way he was going to win. He had already he had already earned Trump's ire, and he was backing away from Trump by that
Was that
point.
Blackburn that was running against
Yeah, that
him?
was Blackburn, and
Okay,
he
okay.
yep he stepped aside, but then he after that he found he found his mouth and started talking shit about Trump again, but he didn't really back up his mouth with any actions. He continued to toe the Trumpy line in the Senate, because
Did
why
he
wouldn't he,
did he
right?
die?
No,
Did
no,
Corker
he's
die?
Corker's. I think both him and uh Lamar
I saw
exclamation
Harold
point or
Ford on Fox the other day. I don't watch Fox, but I like turned it on
oh
like as I was
God,
going
that
through
idiot.
channels, and I saw Harold Ford. And I'm like, yeah, they're the only people who'll have him.
I had forgotten about Harold Ford.
Yeah,
Where
man, he almost won a seat in Tennessee. He came close. He
yeah,
was probably
yeah.
the last Democrat to come close, winning statewide down there.
Oh my God, I'm
But
looking
he
at a
was
picture of
hardly a
that.
Democrat.
Oh my God, he was a cheese. He was just so
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Ugh.
the whole family.
Yeah. Oh God, he was just like all banks, banks, banks. Just that guy. That
Why,
guy.
why are
Ugh.
we talking about Tennessee anyway?
I don't
I
know
don't know.
because we were starting to talk about people backing away from Trump and that evolved into how shitty the Tennessee Republicans and the Tennessee Democrats. Well, Tennessee Democrats are not bad, at least not on the state level. Those guys are fighting hard. Not that there's any at the national level anymore. And it's a
I
tragedy.
know,
It's
I
a
know
tragedy what has been allowed to happen in Tennessee. The
that whole politically at that
that
state's near the bottom,
Oh yeah,
near the bottom.
it's so bad, and it's going to stay that way because it's just completely gerrymandered. You know, there's no way the Democrats can get a toehold in that state. It just that's how it is, and it's going to be that way for until Tennesseans figure it out, and that's going to take a while.
You know,
But
as well, this all started when I said I don't know how the Republicans got themselves into this, and that's why I was bringing up the Lindsey Graham thing because it really is like a matter of like what can you do when the base of your party loves this guy? What can you do? Like, and that they haven't figured that out. Like, the easy path is to embrace them because then at least that makes your political career safe.
yep,
But Like if you don't like what he's doing and you want to be in the party, like it's it's a miserable experience. They want him to lose. So many Republicans want him to lose. Elected Republicans want him to lose.
Oh yeah.
So many. And
Yep.
so many the only ones who will talk are the unelected ones.
Yo,
You
I
know,
know.
like his whole cabinet. Right? Like his whole first term cabinet, right? Will probably all come out on the Democratic
No,
National Committee stage.
I do want to highlight one little profile in courage is this Republican congressman from Texas, Gonzalez, I think his name is. I'm not sure what
Yeah,
his first name is.
he's been bucking.
He's been trashing Trump and he's been, or at least trashing his party. He called Bob Good a neo-Nazi.
Yeah,
Said that his party used to wear white hoods at night. Now they just wear them in broad daylight. So it's like,
yeah,
at
yeah.
least there's one Republican out there calling it like it is. But it's like, if that's what you feel, dude, why don't you leave and join our party instead? Because we could fucking use you on our side. Cut down their majority by one more seat. I mean, geez,
I think he said Bob Good supported his opponent, and his opponent was a Klansman. But
something
I'm
like
just
that.
clarifying. But yeah, he's basically saying you guys support Klansmen. You wear you wear your you wear your hoods in broad daylight now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So tomorrow, I
Oh
guess tomorrow they have the day off from trial, right?
yeah.
Because it's Wednesday. And
Yep.
though that those days off are up in the air, Merchant might decide to plow through on Wednesdays too. But
I think he's
it
got other cases like he's some he has to have a day to move other stuff. I don't know. But
if today is a model for anything, the whew, it could get pretty heated in there the next few days.
yeah, I I kind of wish we could watch it on TV.
Oh yeah. I mean, isn't
I,
Stormy Daniels supposed to be testifying at some point?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, you know that he's going to flip out over that.
Oh, that's going to be great.
And how is he going to, how will he possibly, how can he possibly hold it in when that woman is staring him down? Because she trashes him regularly on the Twitter. She has no fear of him or his people. I don't see, yeah, I mean, first of all, she doesn't seem to have any fear at all of him. She trolls him relentlessly. And she's a performer herself, so you know she's gonna. I mean, whatever you think about her as a, her chosen career,
Oh yeah.
the woman has a sharp tongue, and she
Oh,
knows how, and
she's
she
so
knows,
witty. She's so
and
witty.
she's
She's
witty,
funny.
and she knows how to act. I mean,
She's
I
gonna
mean,
make the
I'm not.
jury. She's gonna make the jury laugh.
She's gonna make the jury freaking laugh. That's
Yeah,
exactly what she's going to do,
she's gonna do
and
that
they are going to be laughing with her
at
at him.
his expense.
And
Oh,
if
he
there's
hates
one
that.
thing Donald Trump cannot deal with, it's being the butt of the joke.
I mean, he never would have run for president if Obama didn't roast him at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. You know,
I was just about to say the exact
yeah,
same
he's got to sit
thing.
there and take it. And here's the other thing: his lawyer stood up in opening statements and said that he never had an affair with her.
Yeah.
He said that. He didn't have to say that. He's not on trial for that,
Yep.
but he said that. And she's going to go up there and she's going to tell that story. And not, I mean, he could go on the stand and rebut her story. No one's going to believe him over her.
Oh no, no one.
No, no, they're going to believe her.
Of course they're going to believe
Even
her.
if she was lying, they would believe her because she's just believable,
Yep.
you know? Uh, so that'll be great.
But I just got a tangent for a minute.
Okay.
I just don't understand why how the people how people still believe him, because when he is making excuses and lying, which is all the time, there are so many tells. My God, I can't imagine playing like cards with the man. You would fucking win every time.
Every
He's
time.
all tell. No, no, no. He sounds like he always sounds like a 7-year-old who got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and he always sounds like it. All I don't understand how people even believe him the first time. He just
You know
comes
why he got sent to
honest.
military? You know why he got sent to a military academy?
Because why was he stealing cookies from the cookie jar and his dad got
Because
sick of his?
every time he stole cookies from the cookie jar, he said witch hunt. And his mom was like, "That's it. You're out of
Yeah,
here. You're out of
you're out
here.
of here. I'm not dealing with this.
I can't take one more witch hunt. You're out. You're out." That's what happened. I swear to God, that's what happened.
But yeah, Stormy Daniels going to be up on there, and she is going to make mincemeat out of him.
Oh, it's going to be glorious.
Oh, it's going to
The
be
whole thing is
hilarious.
glorious. I think I like this trial better than the other ones would be because it's so silly. Like the whole thing is so dumb. Like, dude,
The names are great. David Pecker.
he thought he was having free sex with a prostitute, and how much does it cost him?
I know. I
Like he
know.
paid her 130 right off the bat. And like,
I saw some meme going around yesterday that was like the first time the picture of Donald Trump and it says the first time I pay someone something for anything and look what happens.
yeah, yeah. He paid her 130,000 to keep her mouth shut. And
Yeah.
then Lord knows how many millions of dollars this is costing him.
Oh my God.
It could cost him his freedom, probably not, but it could, like as we discussed.
Oh, oh,
So
the man's an idiot. I mean, the man is a complete and utter idiot.
yes, blithering. I think many of his cabinet members have actually said that.
Yeah,
He's
he is.
a moron, an idiot, a child.
He is. He is a giant child. That is,
Here's one other thing I saw that was cracking me up. I don't know who said it, but it was on MSNBC. You know how he's been falling asleep like every day
yeah, yeah, which is
in
great.
court, which is not a good look. This guy was like, "Look, you can't bring a 12 pack of Diet Coke into court with you," and that's what this guy drinks every day. You can't bring a big pitcher of iced tea. Like the dude's like in massive caffeine withdrawal.
Yeah, not well. There's the caffeine withdrawal, and to be honest, he's probably been. There are rumors that the man is addicted to Adderall,
Okay,
and I know nothing about that.
anything
Um,
preventing him from taking it? I don't know.
yeah, I'll bet they're telling him not to take it because I mean, like that whole sniffling thing he does
Oh
when he
yeah,
starts getting
yeah,
sniffy.
that's right. Yeah, he
That
does
is
that and then he doesn't
that
do it.
that is a total. You're coming off the Adderall symptom. It's the
You
weirdest
think
thing.
that guy's seriously like knocking back rails of Adderall?
Not even rails of Adderall. I'll bet he's taking pills of Adderall
And
because
that still makes you sniffle?
I know people who take Adderall and you can tell when the Adderall is coming down because they get the sniffles. It's a weird thing.
That is a weird thing.
Yeah.
So it's not
And
because he's
that's for people. I'm not talking about people who are using it illicitly. I'm talking about people I know who are, legit prescribed Adderall. And
okay.
they get this sniffle when it comes down.
All right.
I don't know why, but sure, that's a thing.
Okay. I learn something new every day. I thought he
Yeah.
was just banging out some kind of rails.
No, but he
But
can't.
I know his son is Don Jr. That dude is.
Oh my God, you can. Oh my God, you can absolutely tell with that guy.
And his
Woo-hoo.
girlfriend. And his
The
girlfriend.
sweating, the
The teeth grinding.
the teeth grinding.
The
Oh,
look
his
in his
girl,
eyes.
the bugging eyes. That and his Kim Guilfoyle. How old is she? I think I looked her up, and she's like younger than both of us.
I don't know.
And
When did they make the Wizard of Oz? Because she's like the wicked witch of
well,
the.
that's the thing. She's gotten like she's gotten this plastic surgery on her head, and like when you look at what she used to look like when she was how old is she?
She was beautiful,
When she was dating Gavin Newsom, she was like absolutely she's a year old. She was born in 69. She
Okay, so we shouldn't be trashing her.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's like 53 and 53, 54. But
I
like
know.
when she was dating Gavin Newsom, she was utterly beautiful. I mean, like, and I hate to be like being like lookist or anything like that, but like what she is, evil makes you ugly. Let's just put it that way. Evil
You
makes
know
you
that
ugly.
song, that line from "Truckin" by the Grateful Dead, where they sing, "Living on Reds, vitamin C, and cocaine. All our friends can say is, ain't it a
Ain't it a
shame?"
shame?
Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
that's her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ain't it a shame?
I'm thinking more of the there's a great book by Roald Dahl called The Twits. It's about these two horrible people who eventually get their comeuppance. And there's a foreword to the book which says that you know, you can have that talking about how beauty is skin deep and saying that like you can have a wonky eye, I'm paraphrasing here, a wonky eye or a big nose or missing or crooked teeth or whatever. But if you're beautiful on the inside, your beauty will shine through no matter what you look like, and everybody will see you as beautiful. But
Yeah.
if you're ugly on the inside, it doesn't matter if you have perfect teeth, you're a supermodel, this, that, the other thing. Eventually, the ugly is going to shine through. The inside ugly is going to shine through. And damn, it is a real thing with some of these right wing motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Pardon
you
my
can see
French.
them kind of like decompose.
Oh my
It,
God, like Kim
oh,
Guilfoyle, the Steve Bannon, my God, that
oh,
guy.
yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, he's just like he looks like he's melting half the time.
Hmm.
Dana Loesch. Dana, is that how you pronounce her name? The NRA gun lady?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, looks like she could like eat a guinea pig alive. Not even care. Like,
I think it's like an Ecuadorian thing, but they cook them like on a spit, like a barbecue,
yeah, she would just do it like lower her jaw and like put it in live, like the lady
like a shark.
or like the lady from V.
The big detachable jaw. It's gross.
So anyway, man, I got to get going. You got to get going. For real, we got to wrap this up. I still got to go out there and vote.
Yeah, so do I.
I never got I sent away for my absentee ballot and it never arrived. It didn't
Yeah,
arrive at my house. It didn't arrive at my dad's house. There's no absentee ballot in sight. So I'm going to go vote in person across the street.
I'm gonna go vote in person too.
Yep. So yeah, I'll catch you next time. We'll get this posted as quickly as possible. Thanks for listening, everybody. If
Do you
on
want to do
behalf
your Royal Hounds shit or any of that?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Music provided by Royal Hounds. That's The Walk off of I forget the name of the album, but you can find it out there. They're on iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. On behalf of the Progress Podcast, I'm Brendan Squire. That's Marty Longman, and we'll catch you next time on the inner tubes. Rock and
Oh,
roll.
over and out, folks.